Are you thinking about moving to northern Colorado and just want to know the differences between Windsor and Loveland? Well, that's exactly what this video is for. Let's get started. Hi there, Christy Lee here, and I am a local real estate agent in the state of Colorado, but more importantly, I am a native of Colorado. If you're new to my channel, all of my videos are catered to my most favorite places to live, to work, to visit your kid, or to bring your kids. If that's something that interests you, please click that subscribe button right there. That way you are notified every time I have a new video. Also, I love making these videos, but I love helping you more. So right there is my contact information. So please reach out to me if you do have any questions regarding Windsor, Loveland, or any other area in the state of Colorado. I'll be more than happy to help you. All right, so today I'm going to be talking about the differences between Windsor and Loveland, Colorado. I do get a lot of people who are moving to this area and are trying to figure out which area is going to work better for them and their family. And so I just wanted to talk about it. So both areas, both Loveland and Windsor, are going to be in northern Colorado, about 40 minutes north of Denver. Okay, so you're gonna be heading north on I-25. Right before you get to Fort Collins is where Loveland and Windsor are going to sit. Loveland is going to be on the west side of I-25, and Windsor is going to be on the east side of I-25. So that's going to be the #1 difference between the two, because depending on what side of I-25 you want to live in is going to be definitely going to figure out which city is going to work better for you. Now, the cool thing about both cities is both of them have lakes. Both of them have amazing views. So if you're wanting to move to Colorado and have, you know, the view of the mountains and all of that great stuff that people move out here for, well, both cities are going to be able to cater to that. Now, obviously, you know, most people know that Colorado isn't huge into water. Like, we don't have a whole lot of bodies of water out here, but Loveland and Windsor both do, which is awesome. There's several lakes actually out in Loveland. And then in Windsor, what I love about Windsor is in their small town, like their main strip area of Windsor, their downtown area, is where their little lake is, and there's actually a beachfront on it as well. So all of their festivals and all that kind of stuff is right there on the sand. There's beach volleyball, that's where they have the food trucks and all that kind of stuff. So if water is something that really interests you, you could get a house in Loveland or in Windsor, both probably facing the water, on the water. If you're somebody who has a boat, who takes your boat out on the water quite a bit, both of these cities will work well for you. All right, so the biggest difference, I would honestly say, between the two cities is going to be size. So Loveland is going to be quite a bit bigger. The population right now in Loveland is just over 81,000 people. In Windsor, it's 23,000 people. So it is significantly different. So again, that's going to probably help you determine on what's going to fit better for you and your family. Now, the two cities together in general are only about 10 miles apart from each other. So that if you move to Windsor and you like the small town feel better, just know that you're going to be still really close to all the amenities and the shopping and the restaurants and all that stuff that Loveland does have to offer. You just could always go home and have that small town feel, which is really, really great. That is also a significant difference as well. If you live in Windsor, you're not going to have those big, say, box stores. You're not going to find Target, Walmart, all of that kind of stuff in Windsor. It's just not there. You're going to have the small mom and pop type of places. You will have restaurants, of course. There's a few breweries there too. A lot of fast food restaurants are going to be in Windsor. They do actually have, you know, quite a few restaurants in general, but they're going to be like the more dining, you know, sit down dining and stuff like that. That's all going to be a little bit closer to I-25. Loveland though has everything. So you're gonna have the outdoor mall, you're gonna have the Target, there's a Walmart, Home Depot. All of the big stuff is going to be in Loveland. But again, that's only about 10 miles away from each other. So depending on what type of atmosphere and feel to the city that you like, or lifestyle that you're looking for, is gonna definitely distinguish which area you want to move. Now, I did just look up the median prices for both cities, and they're actually pretty comparable. So they're both median house prices in both Loveland and Windsor are going to be in mid to low 500,000. Now, one difference I will say between the two though, 550,000 in Loveland is probably going to be an older house. Probably built in, you know, the 80s, 90s, maybe very early 2000s, but probably not. Now, if you go into Windsor for that same price point, it'll be a newer home, most likely new construction. So you're gonna have newer amenities. You will have the newer developments, newer neighborhoods. But they're gonna be the same price points. So do keep that in mind on what type of house you want to live in, whether you are okay with something older, more established, more mature, probably mature trees and landscaping, whereas Windsor, a lot of cookie cutter out there houses, but definitely on the lower end as far as price points are concerned, but newer construction, new landscaping, so it will have the smaller trees, but you know, it's still gorgeous out there. And you will have, specifically there's a neighborhood out there called the Rain Dance. It's huge, you can't miss it, but they have, you know, the pool, clubhouse, all of that kind of stuff too. So you could get mid 500s, something brand new over there, or mid 500s in Loveland, something a little bit older. Okay, so if you're somebody who loves being outside and close to the mountains, or maybe you head up to the mountains quite a bit, probably Loveland is going to be more on your radar. It is on the west side of I-25, meaning it's closer to the mountains, but I mean, not a whole lot closer. We're talking 10 miles. But either way, you're going to be closer to the mountains, and you're going to have a lot more outdoor activities out in that area than maybe you do in Windsor. So outside in Loveland, you're gonna have a lot of hiking trails, biking trails, fishing, all of that good stuff. And then you're also gonna be really, really close to Estes Park, because it's just kind of sits right there at the base of the mountain to get up to Estes Park. So you're gonna have all of that capability or access right there if you live in Loveland. Windsor still has a bunch of bike paths and things like that, but they're all gonna be newer. You're not gonna have nearly as much like hiking or anything like that, because it is a little bit flatter on that side. I mean, you will distinguish between the two once you get here in Colorado on I-25, the west and the east. It's very different. West is gonna be towards the mountains, and east is gonna be more, you know, the flatter lands. So out in Windsor, you're not going to be having the huge hiking trails or anything like that, but they do have trails. I mean, don't get me wrong. You're just going to add on, you know, maybe 20, 30 minutes to your commute if you need to get to Estes, or if you want to go to Estes Park. But other than that, that's really the only distinguished difference between living on the east or the west side as far as being close to the mountains. Now, one great thing I absolutely love about Windsor itself is that it is such a small town. It's a small town feel, which I've already mentioned, and they have their little downtown area where all their festivals take place. You have the like little ice cream shops and, you know, coffee shops, things like that. So it is very much a small community. They do have, you know, all grades of schooling, so elementary through high school right there in Windsor, so you don't have anything to worry about that. Now, Loveland is a lot bigger, but it has its own uniqueness too. Now they do have their own downtown area too, which is really, really cool. There's a bunch of really cool restaurants over there, a huge movie theater. There's apartments that are actually in there as well. And Loveland's really known for their art. So they have a lot of local artists that, you know, have sculptures and all of that good stuff throughout. They actually have a whole like weekend that celebrate the artists in Loveland. So they have a lot going on in Loveland too, but it is obviously a bigger city. More traffic are gonna be in Loveland. Windsor is gonna be a lot smaller, kind of keep to themselves. So I think ultimately it's just gonna come down to what type of lifestyle you want to live. But again, they're so close together that regardless if you live in Windsor, you could get to Loveland in no time for their amenities, or if you live in Loveland, you could get to Windsor in no time to, you know, maybe go golfing. They have a lot of cool golf courses out there. So these are the major differences between the two cities. I actually do love them both for different reasons, and I dislike them both for different reasons. So reach out to me anytime if you have any additional questions regarding these two great cities or any other areas in Colorado. I'll be more than happy to help you. My contact information again is following this video, as well as remember to click that subscribe button and that thumbs up. That way you are notified every time I have a new video. To the next video, take care.